Hello.
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 Bro. Alright. Hello, bro. Welcome to the Sigma podcast. And today, we're going to be talking about why Joe Biden's law that he passed very recently, where the government will force schools to indoctrinate children with communist beliefs, is the greatest law in history.
Honestly, this has been a law that's been passed very recently, and I think it's very controversial. So, Dylan, what are your thoughts on this?
So, it was passed recently, and recently it was passed.
What?
So, let's think. It was pretty recent when it was passed, right? So, it was a couple of days ago, and that was pretty recent. And I think the law is it's great. It's a great law. It's one of the best laws, actually.
Why do you think it's great, Dylan?
Okay, think about a very rich man. Let's think about a rich man. Donald
Trump.
Yeah, Donald Trump. Right.
Capitalist. He's a capitalist.
Yeah. And, think about little Johnny, and he can't afford a large home. What if Donald Trump gave him a small loan of $1 million? Maybe not even a loan. Just gave him $1 million. That would just help Johnny's life so much, right?
True. Honestly, I believe that. And I think that the capitalist school systems are extremely flawed at the moment, because there are about 322 Americans today, and only 7.28 of them will become at least well off in the future, or millionaires in the future. And I just think that's hardly fair enough.
Yeah, and the top 1% owns 47% of the financial assets. What about the 99%? What are they going to do? What are they going to live off of? They're going to live off the scraps and the droppings of the rich.
Is this what we call the American dream?
Yeah, this is not the American dream. This is the American nightmare. And let me just drop a little quote. The man who walks 1,000 days has walked 1,000 more days than the man who does not walk. What about the man who does not walk? Does no one care about the man who's not walk? So let's just think about this. And we don't start with teaching the adults. We start in the school system where children are made every
We can
single day.
implant these communist ideas in young minds, so they grow up to be the Americans we want them to be.
Alright, so we have two local specialists about communism and capitalism, the opposing views, and we have the richest man on earth, Mansa Musa.
And Aaron Choi.
Yeah, local man, Aaron Choi.
Communist.
Yep.
All right, Aaron Choi, what are your thoughts on this law being passed?
Well, I think it's quite remarkable, actually. The law that communism permits is actually very sophisticated, and it is a very efficient way to manage a society. Now, the thing about communism is that it provides equality for all the people on Earth. Now, when we walk down the street with a man and he has a beer in his hand, I'm thinking, wow, that guy is rich. And I'm out here with the rag dolls and some wife beater on myself. I'm thinking, those dang liberals gotta get out the streets. We gotta bring back an equal America. Now how do you get that, right? That's the thing. It's gotta be about communism. Karl Marx is the founding father of world peace.
He made the Communist Manifesto, right?
Yeah, he did.
Have you read it?
Right. I read the bibliography. but the thing is, capitalism only provides a segue into corruption. And we can definitely see that in the current regime that is absolutely dominating the society. And the thing is, communism does not do that. Communism provides equality for all men.
Honestly, that's so true.
And communism is actually a polarizing subject. But the thing is, when we compartmentalize the communism, right? We get to the consensus that it's actually for the people and not for the liberals.
True, bro.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your input, Aaron Choi, bro. Thank you so much. All right, Matt Smith, what do you have to say against that argument?
I think that his points that communism works are flawed. Because while sure in theory it might be a good idea, in practice it never works out. Because like you said, capitalism leads to corruption, but I think corruption is more of a humanity issue rather than a systemic issue.
I have a question though. What's your net worth, Mansa Musa?
What's my net worth?
How much money do you have, Mansa Musa?
Too much. I don't even know what to do with it anymore. But that's besides the point, though.
But that's the question. Why not give it to the rest of the world? Why not
I
give
do.
it to the
I give out little pennies here and there. That's besides the point.
Here and there.
What I'm saying is that you can't say that capitalism leads to corruption when communism would also lead to corruption, because that's what happened in previous times. And if you look at the modern day communist countries, all of them are more corrupt, or not more corrupt, but at least on the same level of corruption as other countries.
This is why a country never globalized in the first place. This is why
My country never globalized.
This is why the European communists absolutely dominated the region of Africa that Mansa Musa rules.
Who the hell do you think you are talking about my region of the world, alright? Well, don't come up in here dissing my country and my empire.
Please be respectful.
You broke, ugly.
Hey, chill.
Hey, quiet your Andrew Carnegie looking face up.
What is Andrew Carnegie?
All right. Okay, you guys both had very good opposing arguments. But I personally am on Aaron Choi's side. He had
Yeah,
a
me
better
too.
base of argument. He had better sources.
Like-
Like Karl Marx and the Communist Manifesto, you cannot go against that.
Think about the consensus of the Chinese people when they're rallying against the totalitarian government of the capitalism.
Against it?
Yeah.
Yes.
China's communist.
That's Chinese communism.
No, but then they
China's
changed.
communist.
China's
Yeah.
They changed
And then it
Because
became
China
worse.
fought for
because
communism.
they fought.
And then it became worse.
Think about it. The average,
No, I believe it became better.
You believe it became better.
Okay,
the average liberal.
but you
Yeah.
know what? All right. Thanks for your input, guys. That was very interesting. Thank you very much.
So before we head into the next interview, we're gonna be showing a donation or from our sponsors, the Mukilteo School District, of a child being happy with the new law Joe Biden passed.
I was a man working in the mines doing alright. Then became communist overnight. Now I gotta figure out how to be a communist. So much to learn and see. Up in the school with my new dictator. Up in a school that I shared with everyone. A shared economy with essential dictators waiting for me. All my life earnings will be shared with my family.
Wow, that was truly beautiful. So now we're gonna head into the next interview. Alright, so welcome to our second interview. We're gonna be with George W. Bush and Kim Il-sung. So, George W. Bush, what do you have to say against communism?
The American dream is that capitalists in the Middle East should have the equal opportunity that we have in Texas, back home. We got them horses, and the thing is, we can't have everyone have horses like that because we don't got the resources to feed them with the trucks and all that back out the back. And we got to be able to afford them with the money, and with the money we can collect taxes, and that's what really fuels our military and the retaliation against the Middle East. And the thing is, sorry about that. Got a couple of Texas barbecues out the back, yeah. So basically, communism should not be taught in the school because dang liberals ain't got no capitalism. Like, we got communism, we got bulls, we got the football in the school.
What does football have to do with capitalism, though?
Well,
What are you talking
well, the fact of the matter is that ain't no Asian America, ain't no a white America. It's the United States, of America. That's why Obama was our president. So
So you mean we're all equal?
yeah.
But that's communism. You're contradicting yourself here, Mr. Bush.
Alright, Mr. Bush, let's hand it off to Kim Il-sung.
Hello, I am Kim Il-sung. I do believe that communism is very good for my country, North Korea, communism has helped me very much, and I believe teaching the students of communism will be able to create a world where children will be able to, when they become adults, will be able to have a communist society. Yes, very good. And I believe the world shall be communist.
That is absolutely amazing to hear, Kim Il-sung. And from George W. Bush as well, thank you very much for coming out to the podcast. And, well, that will be the end of the Sigma podcast. Mie and Julia believe that communism being forced upon children, it's a proper path. It's a path we must take. And it is the best thing to ever happen, as agreed upon with the great people like local man Aaron Choi and Kim Il-sung. And that's about it. And special thanks to every single one of our guests, like Mansa Musa, the GOAT. And thank you so much for listening.